Fly me to the moon, let me play amongst the stars. Welcome back to Football Therapy, ladies and gentlemen, with me, your host, Jan. Hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to the Stamford Bridge studio. And for Chelsea news. Wow, what a disjointed, a little bit musical intro there. Yes, so today we are discussing a multitude of things. Of course, the January transfer window is rattling ever closer, and lots of stories are being talked about regarding Chelsea. Of course, we play the mighty Cherries on the weekend. How terrifying is that? And there is rumour that actually Chelsea are playing the Cherries again today in a behind the doors friendly. No, not the Cherries, Brentford, another team beginning with B. They're all the same, mate. Anyway, should there be a friendly today and we get like a match report, we may reflect on that and get excited about who does what. Yeah, a 2-0 loss to Brentford incoming. Anyway, today we're talking about the cost of Nkunku, which is actually really positive. Rafael Leao, are we going to sign him? Emiliano Martinez, of course, world champion Argentinian house goalkeeper, once of Arsenal. Apparently Chelsea could be in for him, so I do want to talk about the goalkeepers a little bit. Interesting stuff indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for dropping a like and subscribing to this channel if you want to. And should you choose to do so, you should hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Oh yeah, also you could click join if you want to support the channel. $1.99 a month, but cost of living crisis, I'm only offering the opportunity. Let's start off with goalkeeper. It's an interesting discussion because we have two good goalkeepers at Chelsea. But we've got loads of good players at Chelsea. Doesn't mean it works, does it? We've got a European and African champion in Edouard Mendy. But of course, Mendy is not good with his feet, and his confidence can get rattled, like Kepa, actually. But seemingly his profile doesn't suit the way we want to play under Potter. And indeed, the way most teams play at the top summit of the Premier League. So it might not work out with Mendy. And then there's Kepa, who looks more appropriate now, and essentially is the first-team goalkeeper for Chelsea under Graham Potter. But is he the one? Does he suit all requirements? Will Chelsea perhaps go again? And is Emiliano Martinez the answer? I mean, you think maybe Chelsea might do the thing they always do, revert to type, and go to Brighton and sign Sanchez. Look, man, I'm going to read a little bit. Look, firstly, this story is rotating around the media. I'm going to quickly jump onto something from the Express here. So Manchester United, who apparently are in for him, which kind of makes sense because De Gea is pretty washed now, isn't he? They face two competitors for Emiliano Martinez. Manchester United are reportedly facing competition from Chelsea and Juventus for Emiliano Martinez. The Aston Villa player's performances in Qatar caught the eye, but he's been great for ages. It's been widely reported, and by Fabrizio Romano, that it could get caught up in a domino effect, and it's become an option for United, and it is an option for Chelsea Football Club. Now, this is interesting. I said we should sign Emiliano Martinez when he was at Arsenal, and he came in a little bit for Bert Leno when he got injured, and he was excellent. He beat us in the FA Cup final, when we had Frank Lampard. And I thought we should sign him. So I think, we must have signed Mendy that summer. So I might get my wires crossed here, but I thought we should sign this guy from Arsenal because he didn't have long left on his contract. Aston Villa signed Martinez when he was like, I guess 28, like for 15 million pounds. 15 million pounds. Like, we paid like 22 million for Mendy. Granted, it worked out great. We won the Champions League and he was integral in that. So, I never changed the past in that sense. But it was such a good deal. Martinez is a great goalkeeper. And I love a little bit of the dark arts, Everyone's like, oh, we cheated in the penalty shootout against France because he, threw Tchouaméni's ball. Yeah, it's up to the ref. Book him. So, yeah, you can't do that, mate. Booked. You do that again, you're off, and they have to bring your sub-keeper on, or whatever, or you put a player in goal. No, mate, it's up to the refs to deal with that. If you can get away with it, do it. Do it if you can get away with it. It's up to you to find things you can do to win. He's a great penalty saver. Is he good with his feet? Is he good enough with his feet? I'm not so sure. This is a profile thing now, remember? We're a very specified club now. Everything has to be a piece of the puzzle that fits. It's no longer throwing crap at the wall and seeing what sticks, which has been the Chelsea model for a long time. Lest we forget, a Chelsea model that put us £2 billion in debt. Fortunately, we had a benefactor in around Abramovich who didn't care. Still, is Emiliano Martinez a good goalkeeper? It would be funny if he came to Chelsea and was really good, and Arsenal just had to take that L. But they got their goalkeepers are right as well. Anyway, let me know what you think about the goalkeeper situation, not just Martinez and the shootout. Feel free to comment on all of that. I'll be interested in reading it. But your general opinion on if Chelsea should go in for a new goalkeeper, bearing in mind that it's so important now. The attacks start from the back. Everything, the goalkeepers are an integral, almost outfield player these days. So comment down below and let's move on. Alright, so, of course, I'm not going to go over this for too long, and we've known this, and we've been gassed on this. Christopher Nkunku is going to be announced as a Chelsea player probably soon, really. We've signed him, it's signed, he's coming in the summer. A bit of a Christian Pulisic. I don't know, I doubt he'll come to Stamford Bridge like Pulisic did, wore the shirt and then went back to Dortmund for a bit. I don't think it'll be that. But I think Chelsea will probably do an official, we can announce the completion of a transfer of Christopher Nkunku to arrive at Chelsea in the summer. But Fabrizio Romano via CBS has confirmed that including add-ons, he's 61 million. Which I think is an excellent deal in this current landscape for attackers in their prime, 25 years old. Yes, people might bring up the injury, but clearly the injury is not an issue, otherwise it would have affected the transfer. So 61 million including add-ons. That could suggest, what's that add-ons usually at? 10 million? That could be 50 million for Nkunku. This guy who's had a scintillating couple of seasons, and though we have fears of Timo Werner, PTSD and relapse or whatever, even though we have fears of that, he's clearly more technically gifted in the tight spaces, much more than Werner was. And we know that because on recent videos, we've brought up his scouting report here on the screen, and you've looked at it, and we've looked at it. His short passing, his receptions, his playing in the final third, his combinational play, bellissimo, très belle, is obviously him being a Frenchman. So very, very good indeed. And to get him for that price plus add-ons actually is an excellent piece of business. I think we're doing good business. I think Raheem's in the Todd Bowley era. I mean, we didn't pay much for Aubameyang, but I regret that really in hindsight, even though he might still score goals for Chelsea and look like the few million we paid for him was worth it. But Raheem Sterling for 47 million or whatever it was, as a 27-year-old, excellent injury record, good return, high profile player, good deal. Koulibaly, really, really good player, African champion. We bought him for 33 million. Just a couple of years ago, he would have cost 100 million. Good deal, And again, me, guys. I friggin' love Wesley Fofana. I think he's going to be the best young centre-back in the Premier League. And Leicester wanted to make him a world record fee for a centre-back should he go to Chelsea. So it would have had to been 85 million plus. We got him for 69 million. I think, considering the landscape and considering the profile of that player, that is a good deal. I think we've done all right, man. We're spending a lot because we're buying good players, a lot of good players. But again, we need more than just good players. We need a whole systemic rebuild. Anyway, I didn't want to spend too long on this, but I think Christopher Nkunku for that 61 plus, including add-ons, is sensational business for such a player with immense productivity. Anyway, let's not get too excited until he starts scoring goals here. No, you know what? Screw it. Let's get excited, because what's the point in life? If you can't get excited. Go on. Be excited. Are you excited? Good. Let's move on. Woo! I'm sweating my gonads off and with the studio light on me in a jumper. And you wouldn't think so because it's winter. But hey, that's life. So, Rafael Leao. Besties with Chelsea. Right back, Reece James making fluttery eyelashes at each other on social media. He followed Chelsea's TikTok, then pranked out and unfollowed when everyone got freaked out about it. He's young, he's exciting, he's built for the Premier League. He's tall, he's strong, he's fast, he's tricky. He's a wild card. He's a bit mercurial. But it's not all good, of course. There's concerns. His passing is worrying, his passing stats. And, of course, his pressing stats are non-existent. But we've covered this on the channel. We've said, look, Milan, who, of course, he plays for at the moment, they could be like, don't worry about passing. Just dribble into the box and create and score. So, therefore, your passing stats are going to be low. Don't worry about pressing. Just be ready to receive the ball in transition and go and do your magic. Hence, no pressing statistics. That is giving the benefit of the doubt to the Portuguese. He's very, very good, and he's in the summer, he'll have 12 months left on this deal, and he is a high-profile player, baby. Now, yes, his manager is urging him to sign a new deal. Let's just read a little bit from 90 Min, and then I'll talk to you about what I think. So, Milan manager Stefano Pioli has urged Leao to ignore the chance to leave the club and sign a new deal. Leao, whose deal expires in 2024, he's rejected the opening offer of an extension following significant interest from Chelsea, who have made it abundantly clear that the 23-year-old, that they are determined to get the deal done. Chelsea are determined to get the deal done. Sources have confirmed to 90 Min, as it stands, Leao is not prepared to agree Milan's proposal as his options, because he wants to explore his options as he's got 18 months left on his contract as things stand. Chelsea are ready to make a bid for Leao, but Milan have warned suitors that they are not prepared to negotiate and would only do business for his 150 million euro release clause. A figure Chelsea are very reluctant to offer. No sugar, ladies and gentlemen. 150 big ones for a guy with 18 months left on his contract, playing in the Italian league, which is not in the 90s anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Serie A is not what it used to be. Milan remain hopeful that they convince Leao to stay, and Pioli has now publicly urged, sounds desperate to me, the Serie A MVP, oh yeah, so he is the MVP, I was trying to confirm that last time, to continue his career in Italy. Quote, he says this, Rafa is happy. I'm sure he is, he's a champion. Available and serene. Poetic. I see him as a very positive, and as long as I see my players like this, I can be satisfied. It's undoubtedly a positive thing for our future. I think we've done a lot together with all the players, but I don't think any of us have reached that full potential yet. Rafa has made an incredible growth journey, always with a growing mind, but he still has many things on which he can work with the quality and intensity. Graham Potter will sort that out, mate. Right? Clearly doing it with us where, look, sounds desperate to me. So the article goes on to say Chelsea would be prepared to sign Leao in January, as was the case before Armando Broja's injury. But Milan have stressed the sale would not be permitted unless suitors meet the release clause. Given he has 18 months remaining on his contract, Chelsea are keen to avoid spending so heavily. Ooh, interessant. Classic game of psychological chicken with buyer versus seller. Truth is, man, I could say, look, if he's not going to sign a new deal, they cannot compete with Chelsea financially. Now, that's pretty gross, like talking cynical, like, yeah, but we got all the money. He's just won a league title. In terms of glory, Milan, big club, like, bigger club than Chelsea. Probably, historically. But, right, we're talking about right now. We're talking about the juice. We're talking about good players, lots of money, always in the Champions League. Milan have only just got back into the Champions League. Yes, they're good again now, but they were in the trenches for a long, long time. Many of you might not remember, but a few years ago, well, maybe like 5-6 years ago, they bought a whole new team and they were in all this trouble with financial fair play and they finished like really badly in the league. Yes, a great team, and clearly a great club. It's done him really, really good. He probably appreciates that. But I think I'm reading the media room here. I think he wants to leave. I think he'd like to come to Chelsea. Chelsea have a better team, a better squad than Milan. And he probably sees what we're doing. He wants to be playing with all these superstars and World Cup Champions League winners and World Cup winners. We've got a World Cup winner, but he's probably going to be gone in N'Golo Kante. Come on, if we just, Nkunku's coming, you'll be combining with him. Oh, Love that. He knows we've got superstar young players, good midfielders, amazing fullback. You know, Thiago Silva, I don't know if he'll be hanging around, but, you know, Koulibaly, Fofana. Come on. Great team. The high value squad that he'll be wanting to combine with. The truth is, we're not going to pay 150 million euros for a guy on 18 months left on his contract playing in the Italian league. It's just not going to happen. So if he makes it clear, I'm not going to sign a new deal, I'll just run it down. Then, if he makes that abundantly clear, I love it here, but I want to move on. You know, with full respect, I will move on. So, if you don't sign me, that's fine. I'll only be 24 when I go on a free. That's cool. But maybe you should accept £75 million from Chelsea in January. Or euros. It's up to you, man. This is all speculative, of course. Many of you might not even want that. Many of you might think, why would we spend all that money on a guy that we don't know is going to play well in this league and doesn't really score loads and loads of goals? Sure, I hear you, man. And I have no friggin' idea. I'm just sort of thinking out loud, my sweet friends. What do you think, though? Let me know. Please do drop a like and comment. I look forward to hearing your or reading your opinions on this, and keep it locked to Football Therapy. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Peace.